Hello everyone, Jim here. I am responding to a challenge today. I'm referring to the Mega Tag. It was started by Rob Fuzz, who challenged lots of people to come up with a top 10 Disney list. I was challenged by my partner channel, D&G Explorers. So today I'm going to share with you my Disney top 10.
Mega Tag.
Well, let's jump right on in. Number 10 is probably my favorite Disney character. This is the Orange Bird at Walt Disney World. This is a character that was created by Disney for the Florida Citrus Commission as a mascot in exchange for them sponsoring the Tiki Room. We came to Walt Disney World from Michigan a number of times, and I remember always seeing the Orange Bird and being very excited because that just personified Florida for me. Where it was located, Sunshine Tree Terrace, which was over by the Tiki Room for many years. Just seeing that in the Sunshine Tree Terrace, they would have these little plastic oranges with straws in them that kids could drink from. I don't ever remember getting one of those. Probably did, but just seeing them was exciting because we were in the Florida sunshine, and like I said, the Orange Bird was just the epitome of Florida and a Florida vacation for us. That's number 10 for me. I guess it's time for my first hat. When I watched D&G Explorers with their Disney top 10, they had a bunch of hats, so I went around to try to find all the Disney hats I had laying around here. So I'm going to start with my first one. This is one my daughter got when she got her first haircut in the Harmony Barbershop. Okay, so number 9 for me is Christmas at Walt Disney World. Seeing Christmas in the parks, all of the decorations, the music, just the whole atmosphere created is very celebratory, very happy, very festive. Each park has its own giant Christmas tree decorated in its own theme. Magic Kingdom always did Christmas right. And in recent years, Epcot just started this International Festival of the Holidays. That was very cool. We have this big Christmas push at Disney's Hollywood Studios where they project a bunch of stuff on the tower, Hollywood Tower of Terror Hotel, that thing, you know what I'm talking about. It was very cool, and the music they have going on, this old style 40s Christmas music, it was very cool and festive, and it was very neat. So number 9 on my list is Christmas at the parks.
Mega Tag.
When I was making my list, I came up with a dozen, maybe 15 things I thought would be in my top 10. Then I whittled it down, and this guy was never not on the list, of course. At number 8 is, for me, Paul Freese. This is the man of 1,000 voices, and for as long as I can remember, I was fascinated by this guy's voice. Now, if you're not familiar with who he is, he provides the voice in some of the most famous attractions in the parks. Most notably, he does a lot of them in Pirates of the Caribbean, including, up until recently, The Auctioneer. Most famously, and the most beloved voice, I believe, from him is that of the ghost host in the Haunted Mansion. And that's the one where I said to myself, that is the greatest voice I've ever heard.
When hinges creak in doorless chambers, and strange and frightening sounds echo through the halls. Whenever candlelights flicker, where the air is deathly still, that is the time when ghosts are present, practicing their terror with ghoulish delight.
Every time I heard it, brought me back to vacations at the Magic Kingdom, and that attraction in particular was always great. But not only did he do voices in the parks, he had a long Disney history. Another very famous voice of his was that of Donald Duck's uncle, Ludwig, I'll get this right, Ludwig von Drake. Not that Drake. he was sort of the host of the Sunday Disney show. Also, he was an actor, and he was in bit parts in The Absent-Minded Professor. He was in The Shaggy Dog, and others. So, and I remember seeing him in a movie. I didn't know what he looked like, but I heard him. I think it was a courtroom scene. Stand up and say something, and I recognized his voice immediately. It was awesome. So, for me, number 8, top 10 Disney, Paul Freese. Hat change. Number 7 on my list, one of my favorite attractions in any of the parks. This is Pirates of the Caribbean, and it's one of the most beloved attractions. It is in the Magic Kingdom, it's in Disneyland, it's in a number of different Disney parks around the world. But I remember it from being a kid. I remember my dad saying it was his favorite ride. I remember going through, my mom pointing at the hairy, dirty leg dangling from the bridge and laughing at that. I remember the additions of Jack Sparrow in the attraction and thinking it was an improvement, not a bad thing. So there's so much about this ride that is great. The smell, everybody talks about the smell of that attraction, and it's due in part to the air conditioning, the water, which everybody says that the chlorine smell of the water is what they enjoy, but I believe it's actually bromine, not chlorine, because I don't get that swimming pool smell. I get a different sort of Disney attraction specific water smell. Anyway, it's got cool music. Yo-Ho, Pirate's Life for Me, makes me happy every time I hear it. So for me, that ride starts out spooky and dark. You've got that skeleton steering that wreckage of that pirate ship, and you've got the pirate skeletons on that beach scene that you sailed right by, and one of them's impaled by a sword, and that starts out very dark. But then you go down that hidden hill, and then you come out to this pirate ship attacking this fort, and from there you see the mayor of this village, or governor, or whoever he is, being tortured in this well. Still dark, but a little more fun. And then what used to be an auction scene, what used to be a different auction scene, is still an auction scene. And I don't mind the change. And then it's just pirates being pirates. And it's a lot of fun, ending with that iconic dog with the keys and the prisoners trying to get him to come over so they can escape. And it's just a great attraction. Yeah, I'm in my garage, so what? All right, number 6 on my list is a bit different from all the others, and I'll explain later. This is the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and I have been enjoying these movies since Iron Man came out. And for the last few years, it just seems like every movie that comes out is as good, if not better, than the previous one that came out. And I mean, just look at the last few years. You had Civil War, and then Black Panther, and you had Thor Ragnarok, and Ant-Man and the Wasp, and then Infinity War. And I've never been a comic book reader, but I am loving these movies. They are so fun and adventurous, and the effects are awesome, and they get serious at times. Not DC serious, but they hit hard when they have to. They make you laugh all the time, and they're just really well-made movies. And they're number 6 on my list now, so yeah. Okay, number 5 on my list is my favorite resort in Walt Disney World, and it's Fort Wilderness. If you're not familiar, it's the place where you can go camping. We have done, as a family, we have gone there, slept in a tent. We've rented an RV and stayed there in an RV. We even rented one of the cabins. We've done that a couple of times. And every experience, maybe the exception of the tent, every experience was awesome. The tent, and maybe this is for another video, but the tent, we'd hear the buses driving by, and when you have 2 little kids and trying to get them to sleep, that's a challenge. I digress. But the cabins are awesome. If you've got a group of 6 to 8, I think you can stay in one of these cabins comfortably. Certainly a family of 4 did. Maybe not 8, maybe just 6. Anyway, we did that. And I'll tell you what we did when we stayed there in an RV. Actually, I'll tell you what we did. We rented a golf cart, and you have the option to rent a golf cart when you go to Fort Wilderness. Because it's so expansive, you can walk if you choose to. It's just going to take a long time. But the place is so expansive that having a golf cart really opens up more possibilities for you. You're not wasting so much time walking. And it's also a lot of fun, especially when you have kids. They love golf carts. Now, they have 2 great restaurants there. They have the Hoop-de-Doo Review, and they have the Trails and Buffet restaurant. Now, we've never done the Hoop-de-Doo Review, but they serve the same food as the Trails End restaurant, which we have enjoyed before. And it's probably the best fried chicken on property. And we had a very enjoyable time there at the Trails End restaurant. Now that is near, they have like a general store over there as well, and it's near the marina. And the marina is notable because you can take a boat from Fort Wilderness to the Magic Kingdom, or you can take it to the Wilderness Lodge, or I believe you can also take it to the Contemporary, and then I would imagine perhaps even to the other Magic Kingdom resorts. I've never done that though. Anyway, taking a boat where you want to go is pretty cool as well. They have their own pool area, maybe more, maybe they have 2. But they've got a slide, and it's comparable to many of the resort pools. They have horseback riding there. We haven't done that, but it's just a blast. We stayed there for a couple of days one Thanksgiving week, and we enjoyed ourselves so much we didn't even go to the park. So we were just having so much fun at Fort Wilderness. We decided to stay there that time. So Fort Wilderness, number 5 on my list. Next on my Disney top 10 is, or top 10 Disney. What are we calling this? There's nobody over there. I was just looking over there as if there were. Next is, for me, my favorite snack, my favorite Disney snack, and that is the Citrus Swirl. And this is located at the Sunshine Tree Terrace in the Magic Kingdom, and it is made with real orange juice and vanilla soft serve, and it is simply the best snack you can get in Walt Disney World. A lot of people compare it to the Dole Whip, and I'll be honest, I'm not a Dole Whip person. I don't dislike it, but the Citrus Swirl for me just packs more of a flavor punch. Now, I've had a Dole Whip before, and I hear a lot of people just salivate over this Dole Whip, and I thought to myself, do I misremember my experience with the Dole Whip? So I went and got another, and no, I hadn't. It's just, to me, not as flavorful and delicious as the Citrus Swirl. The Citrus Swirl, and don't confuse it with what they have now, also the Orange Swirl, which has more of a creamsicle taste to it. Also very good, but just it's not the Citrus Swirl. This is real orange juice that this is made with, and it is a delight. It used to be where you could just get the orange juice part of it, but they no longer do that. I digress. Okay, let's move on. Number 3 to me is the greatest attraction in Walt Disney World. This is not the most thrilling, but it's the greatest, and I'll explain. This is the Tomorrowland Transit Authority People Mover. This is the ride that gives you a tour through Tomorrowland. It's that blue train you see above everybody going through. You go through the Buzz Lightyear ride, you go through Space Mountain. When that's down, when Space Mountain is down and they have all the lights on, when you get on this People Mover and go through, you can see it. You can see Space Mountain with the lights on. That's very cool. That's happened to us before. You get to see the model of the original, they call it the City of Tomorrow, I believe, which was the original idea that Walt Disney had for Epcot, the experimental prototype community of tomorrow. So you get to see that. You get to go by the Tomorrowland Dance Party. Now, they don't have a People Mover in Disneyland anymore, so here in America, if you want that experience, you've got to go to the Magic Kingdom. And it's just relaxing, it's totally shaded, so if you're exhausted, this is the perfect ride. Again, not the most thrilling. There are no hills, you don't go upside down, but it is just pure pleasure going on that. So the People Mover is number 3 on my list. All right, this is my last hat, so. All right, for number 2 on my list, and originally I had this spot slated for the Haunted Mansion, which is one of my favorite attractions. But I thought about it a little bit more, and also around that area were 2 of my family's favorite quick service restaurants. I love the Columbia Harbor House, and I love the Sleepy Hollow refreshments. When it's a bit cooler out, we like to go there for our funnel cakes, sitting in the shadow of the castle. And Columbia Harbor House always has relatively, as far as Disney prices go, inexpensive meals that are pretty good. And that's just a cool place. The point I'm getting at is number 2 on my list isn't just the Haunted Mansion or these places to eat, but instead the whole area. So number 2 on my list is Liberty Square. It also has one of the coolest gift shops, Memento Mori, which is the dedicated Haunted Mansion gift shop. That's a really cool place. My family, we're not big fans of character dining, but the one we did was the one in Liberty Square, and the name escapes me right now. The Liberty Tree Tavern. I just thought of it. So we did that, and that's comfort food. It's a Thanksgiving dinner every day of the year. That was pretty good. You've got the Muppets have a new show, Great Moments in American History. They've got 2 different shows that they do, and those are great. So I thought, instead of just putting Haunted Mansion on my list, I'm going to do the whole area because, and it's exclusive to the Magic Kingdom. You're not going to find Liberty Square anywhere else. Again, it's just, it makes me happy when I go in that area. I know of a picture of my sister and I sitting with the Haunted Mansion in the background, and we're just 2 little kids. So just seeing that picture for the first time recently in a long time got me to thinking about this in this list, and it's kind of like the Orange Bird. It's just seeing this area just evokes happy memories, and I enjoy being in there every time I go to the Magic Kingdom.
Mega Tag.
So finally, we're at number 1 on my list, and it is, I won't beat around the bush, it is just Walt Disney World. The whole Walt Disney World Resort. You got 6 parks, 4 theme parks, 2 water parks. You've got Disney Springs. You've got 20-odd different resort hotels. It's just so expansive. It is a city on its own, and there's just so much to do there. The boardwalk is another place to go, and everything's connected by the Disney bus transportation system. It's also connected by boat service and monorails, and pretty soon the Disney Skyliner. So these I want to say pergola, that's not the word. The Pandora's, no. What is it? I can't believe I have to look this up. Gondolas. We've been lucky enough to stay at so many of the resorts. I think we've done all of the moderate and value resorts. And like I said, our favorite is Fort Wilderness, which is a world unto its own. This place opened in the year I was born. I just recently saw some pictures of me as a 1-year-old at this park. So I've been going there pretty much all my life. It just evokes super happy memories every time I take the car there and see the toll booth of the park I'm going into. That's always an exciting moment. You know, it occurred to me as I was making this list that I have been called a Disney fan, Disney freak before, but as I looked at my list, 9 of the 10 things in here involved the parks, the Disney parks. With the exception of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, everything has a parks connection to it. So I think I'm a Disney parks fan more than anything else. Well, folks, that was my top 10 Disney. Thank you to D&G Explorers for that challenge. This was a lot of fun. It was fun to narrow it down. It was fun to present it. Thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll see you next time.